Hey, 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 welcome back to another episode of The In-Between. I'm your host, Elizabeth Cheney, and I'm sure you're all asking the same question. Where have you been? For those who don't know that reference, it's from Harry Potter. Anyways, yes, I am sorry. Whoa. She disappeared, but now she's found. All with good reason, but can I just say it feels great. Feels great to be back. I genuinely miss podcasting, I'm not gonna lie. So maybe I just haven't had anyone to yap enough to or what, but I'm back. The bitch is back according to Elton John, and I feel good to be back. So missed you, love you. We're here, we're reunited, but y'all, life has been insane. Insane. And I'm saying that because we're going to get into it. What's going on? What the heck isn't going on in my life? But also just to say, the next few weeks are going to be crazy. You might see some interesting backdrops. You might see a lot of action in progress, but it's all good. It's all gravy. It's all Gucci, baby, because we roll with it, right? Right. And I'm authentic as fuck, so I'm definitely going to share my life experience with you because, well, it's my podcast and that's what I do. Anyways, hope you all have been well. I don't even know where to start. I'll tell you this before we get into what the heck's been going on, because that is basically the entirety of today's conversation. Let's just talk about what else has been going on. And I feel a little crazy at the moment. That's okay because I am juggling more than I have in a very, very, very long time. One might argue more than my life, but that's okay. But roll with me. We're going to get through it. Part of my zoop, zap, zip, zip, zip all over the place is just my excitement. And then the other part of it is just, well, ADHD. So, but let's see. First off, I think since we last spoke, I went to New Orleans. That was fun. It was hot as hell. Went for one of my girlfriends, one of my besties, Maggie's bachelorettes. Good group of girls. Got to dance the night away on Bourbon Street. It was so much fun. Hot as hell, like I said. But I survived. It was doable. So, it helped with my fear of humidity. Not that I have a legitimate fear of humidity. It's more of just a hatred for humidity. And this idea that, like, I'm just going to die and not survive. And metaphorically die, like, I'm not being that dramatic. But the point being, I survived and I walked around outside and I didn't explode. So that's great. No self-combustion here. I was really excited about the food. And I'm going to be honest, we didn't eat as much good food as I thought we were. We did have one really solid meal as like our last dinner per se. But other than that, no, I need to go back and try that again. We were asking locals like, man, we're having a hard time finding food. Where's the good food? And everyone said outside of New Orleans. So that's interesting. But like, I know there's good food in New Orleans. So need to go back and explore more. Definitely didn't have enough time for that. But it's fun. And let me tell you what, your girl loves dancing. Like, I love dancing. Dancing is so much fun. Wedding dance party? Hell yeah. I'm on the dance floor the entire night. Going to a club, I don't do that per se, but if given the opportunity, I'm going to dance my heart out. I love it. Am I a great dancer? I don't think so. I have no idea. I just move my body. And if I look like a worm, then so be it. If I look like one of those like inflatable things outside of a car salesman, a car show, well, so be it too. Hopefully I'm not like that, but I don't know. I don't know. At least it's not JoJo Siwa where she's just like, boom, 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 like looking like she's like, I don't know, having a exorcism or something on the dance floor. But that wasn't nice. Let's move on from that. I think the last time I talked to you, God, it's been so long. I was talking about my Lost Girl era and the job and all of that. No new job searches on the horizon because my life has turned into absolute chaos since we last spoke, but that's okay. I'm not giving up. So for any of my other fellow friends, my fellow girlies, my fellow peoples that are trying to find a new job, whatever, hang in there. We're going to get through it. Just remember, your current is not your forever. That's what you have to keep reminding yourself, even though it feels permanent. Okay? Okay. See what's out. Oh, duh. Your girl went to NYC. If you were following my story, then you got to basically do the entire trip with me. I don't want to go too much into all of the details because I really want to do an episode with my mom. You know how I do those like recap trip episodes with Stan? I want to do one with Cindy because we went together. It was a mommy daughter trip, and y'all, It was so much fun. Not just the location, visiting New York City for the first time really was just no words. Chef's kiss, yes, but just, I don't know how to describe it other than I feel so connected to that city. Have you ever been somewhere where you step off the plane, you step into the city, whatever, and you're like, I'm meant to be here. Maybe I've been here in a past life, but like I have origins, I have roots, I have ties. Like it just felt like home. Man, I don't know how else to describe it other than that. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not even gonna say I hope. I know there's gonna be a lot more New York in my future, especially as this podcast grows. I'm sure I will travel more and more up there, but it was a magical place and an even more magical trip to experience it with my mom. My mom is handicapped, although she is getting her hips replaced next week, so the episode might be a little TBD into the month, but she has lost over 140 pounds and it's amazing. And she was walking, even with her cane, all over that damn city. And I'm so proud of her. And it just was so much fun. I got to see my first Broadway show. Just truly one of the best trips I've ever been on. And I can't wait to go back. But I'm so glad I got to experience it for the first time with her and do what we did. And let me tell you something. We did it all. We did so much. But still felt like it wasn't so rushed and jam-packed. Like we did a lot, but it was also like we got to experience it. So it was really nice, really, really nice. Went to the Comedy Cellar, the legendary Comedy Cellar. That was great. So much fun. Giggled my heart out. Still need to get into improv. That's a reminder for me to do that because it's on my vision board and I still have time. That reminds me, I should probably check in with all my peoples who came to the vision board party earlier this year to see where we're at. Maybe a third quarter of the year check-in since I clearly missed the mark on the halfway checkpoint. But that also reminds me that I probably need to start brainstorming how the next vision board party is going to go. So stay tuned for more info. This is a heads up to you and a reminder to me to get that going, to get that brain juice juicing on that. That was awkward, brain juice juicing. Anyways, back to New York. Like I said, wonderful. Gonna do a recap with Cindy, go through all the things that we did, ate so much delicious food. So where I lacked in New Orleans, I made up for it exponentially in New York. But one thing I want to talk about related to New York, I mentioned multiple times that I was gonna try to book a guest and record in this studio in New York, and it didn't happen. That's totally okay. And I am not embarrassed or ashamed to admit that. I don't have my tail between my legs. And I want to tell you why. One, of course, there's always the thought that it may not work out, but it's not like I'm marinating on that. And it's also not like I'm marinating on, oh, it's going to, I know it, it is. And I struggle with that, with manifesting and claiming and affirming because I overthink literally everything in my life. Of course, I'd overthink that, but it was positive. What's for me will find me. I'm following that tether that I've talked about before. That led me on that whole chase in pursuit of finding a guest. So since we last spoke, I want to talk about all the things that have happened specific to this pitching a guest, trying to book somebody. I'm reaching out to people. They don't have millions of followers, but like they have hundreds of thousands, right? The amount of imposter syndrome that I felt coming up with pitch emails, trying to sell myself as a somebody where I know I'm somebody, but on paper, I'm a nobody. And getting them to say, hey, I know you're not the kind of volume of followers or whatever clout, if you will, that I would normally collaborate with, but sure, I'll throw you a bone. So I had to make sure my pitch wasn't robotic. I had to make sure it was personal because I get robotic pitches. And let me tell you, you can pick them out a mile away and you just delete, move forward. And I also wanted to make it specific to that person. Kind of like how you tailor a resume oftentimes to a specific job if it's different than like, you're looking outside of just communication manager jobs, right? You're doing a marketing job, you dabble in some more marketing details, maybe less on the comms, you know what I mean? So the amount of imposter syndrome, and it wasn't self-doubt imposter syndrome. It was more just like, who do I think I am putting myself out there? That kind of imposter syndrome. Very different if you know what I mean. And I kept pushing through. I worked heavily with ChatGPT. Shout out to ChatGPT giving me the foundation for the pitch. Not that they gave me the exact pitch, but they helped me come up with, I don't know what pronoun to use for ChatGPT, but it helped me come up with the foundation for the pitch that I used. So I emailed probably, 10 different people, and I got 3 responses. One of which was like, I'm pregnant, not in the area, I'm so sorry. One that came in after the fact and was like, I'm so sorry for the late response. I am overwhelmed and slammed with New York Fashion Week and the US Open, which, oh my God, a dream, right? Oh, girl, you got problems. It's okay. I totally understand. Me too. LOL. But really kind. And who knows, maybe that one could like be something down the line. And then I had one reach out that did show interest, asked me for my engagement, which that was its own set of like trials and tribulations. How the heck do I figure that out? So I probably spent about 2 hours trying to figure out my engagement. Great exercise. Again, took me a little bit of time because I had to figure it out. I had to learn. I had to figure out the formulas, did this and this, that and that, So I come up, I now have all this information. I send it to them. And at this point, I think they've looked me up and they realize, oh, this girl's a small friend. Not really, not really what our person is looking for at the time, which again, I understand. I'm not going to take that personally because it is what it is. Even though I believe in me and I know what I'm about and I know where I'm going and I know I will have that clout eventually one day very soon. I also know that this world is a little superficial and that numbers matter. So it is what it is, but that doesn't take me down because you got to start somewhere. Don't forget that, you guys. You got to start somewhere. The people who are big now, they did start somewhere. They did. Even if like 80% of them had an in because their mom was a producer or they were on a reality TV show. I'm kidding. I genuinely am kidding. I'm trying to be funny there. But they came back, hey, not this time. She is unavailable, blah, 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 which I know what that meant, but they were really nice about it. So this is what I gained from this whole experience. I now have a super solid pitch template that the one paragraph that was specific to New York and the coordinating times and all of that, I can just take that out and maybe just change it with whatever is specific to that situation, whether it's a remote recording pitch or a local recording pitch, whatever, or hell, I'm going to Chicago or New York again and doing it. But either way, solid pitch, great intro about me, about what I'm about, and then a great format for this is what I think about for us and our topic, that I can use, and just having to change small variable things if I push myself out there. Not if, when I pitch myself out there. The amount of imposter syndrome that I overcame. It was a lot. I mean, I was sitting here at my desk going, God, literally out loud, who do I think I am? This is wild, but you know what? Send it. Oh, I send it. Can't unsend it? Like sending it completely, believing in myself, not questioning what the outcome was going to be because I believe in myself. And if this doesn't work out, I knew that there was going to be something gained from it. So I told you, get this pitch email. I have confidence. I also learned how to pull my engagement, how to figure all that out, how to calculate it. And it's pretty good. Yeah, I have a small following, but I got really good engagement. So that means you people like me. The people who listen and the people who follow, well, they like what they're seeing. And yes, I realize that I should do more of it, but I'm gonna get there. The point being, look at all these things I gained. It's all part of my story. It's all moving blocks, stepping stones. It's all part of the journey. I still feel the tether that's pulling me down this path. And maybe New York didn't work out, but like I gained a pitch template. I gained the analytics, all the reporting, all of this stuff. Well, now it's going to be a little bit easier for me to put myself out there and reach out to people. Because by the end of it, y'all, I did not have any imposter syndrome. I was like, why not reach out to this person? Because I know what I'm about. Because it just takes one yes. And we know anything worth going after is probably going to have a hell of a lot of no's before you get that one huge yes. And that's all it takes. So was New York my yes? No, it wasn't. At least not right now. But it's leading me to a yes. And that's what's exciting. And that's what I want to focus on. And that's what I'm choosing to focus on. And guess what? It's kind of easy to focus on because I have worked so hard on myself. Confidence, self-worth, doing this is no easy feat. Believing in yourself and putting yourself out there. But it can be done. And the more you do it, the easier it gets. So take this as your sign. 2 years ago, I would have never done that. Even with the podcast, I would have never reached out to people with a blue check mark next to their name, with hundreds of thousands of followers, even 100,000 followers. Me now? Why not? Who says? There's this one children's book that I love, this author that I'm actually going to pitch to be on the podcast because he's wonderful. Like his books are beautiful. But one of the quotes in the book is, if the chances are 1 in a million, why can't you be the one? Seriously. Like, okay, sure, 1 in a million, but like there is one. Why not you? That mindset will drive you so far in life, you have no idea. And it's not a selfish or stuck up thing. Like, I don't know, I am the one. But it's just, well, why not? Like, I'm not going to let that hold me back, especially if it's something I want, something I enjoy, something that fulfills me. So this is your reminder. Always bet on you. And even if the results aren't visible right there, if the outcome didn't quite work out exactly how you thought that specific one was going to, don't sweat. It's coming. It's coming. So I'm excited for that. So before I go into the big news of the day, of the week, of like the past month, because your girl's been gone, I wanted to talk about something else I learned that's called hurry sickness. Ooh, hurry sickness. So I was talking to my girl, Kristen, at a little bit a lot, and I'm pulling up the definition, but hurry sickness, it's not a clinical outcome or a mental health ailment, but it is a term that is now poised today. And according to Psychology Today, the definition of hurry sickness is a behavior pattern characterized by continual rushing and anxiousness, an overwhelming and continual sense of urgency. And I, for one, have never felt more seen in my life. So I have hurry sickness. I'm self-diagnosing, not that it's a thing, but not that it's a natural diagnosis, but I am claiming it. I'm claiming it. I feel that. I feel so overwhelmed most often every second of the day because there's so much going on. I know it's ADHD, it's this. It's also that I'm a very driven person, and I'm also, I don't know, working a job, doing all the things, and also trying to launch a podcast and make it grow. And I know the battles I'm fighting are the ones that I have chosen myself. And they are battles worth fighting, worth achieving, worth overcoming, for sure. But it is exhausting. And reading about hurry sickness made me think about, well, I wonder if like I've developed this pattern, because we know that the brain does what, like the brain is going to default to what's easiest. Even if it's not actually easy to your nervous system, your brain's like, I ain't talking to that guy. I'm just talking about what I know. And what I know is this is what we always do. So I think I need to unlearn some of my anxious attachment to time management and tasks and stuff, and work on unlearning the self-doubt that I'm not organized and have my shit together, because I actually do the most, the most. And I don't even mean that as like a braggy way, because sometimes I need to not do the most, but it's like, I do the most. Why is there any doubt I'm not doing the most? So that's how I'm going to attack this hurry sickness. That's my first means of action, my first combat. But I feel like I have gotten in a rhythm with my brain, or whatever the hell, that gotta go. And there's so many things I gotta do. And it's like, well, you can't do it all right now. Got it. And I've worked on that mindset, but it's like, now I gotta train my brain to slow down the anxiety and like the nervous system energy. I don't know, whether it's my brain or my nervous system, one of the two I need to talk to and figure out, all right, so this is a pattern. And if hurry sickness is a thing that makes sense, hurry sickness is probably just a variation of perfectionism, people-pleasing, ADHD, anxiety, OCD, depression, or all of the above, or a combination of all of the above. But it did give me some insight that perhaps it's not that I'm overwhelmed and not doing enough and I don't have it all together, but perhaps I am doing quite enough. I do have it all together. I just need my brain to shut up that I can't do everything all at once. And what I mean by that specifically is like, okay, if a project has 12 steps, you got to get through steps 1 through 11 before you get to step 12. But my brain's like, no, you need to do 1 through 12 immediately. And it's like, well, I can't do that. You gotta do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You get it. So for any of my other babies, girlies, friends who too may feel overwhelmed and burnt out by urgency, hurry sickness. So we're going to combat that with slow down, comfort versus sickness. Okay, hopefully that thought got across quite well. But all right, so are we ready for the grand finale? Are we ready for the grand news? What the hell have you been doing that you've gone radio silent? You've disappeared off the face of the earth. Despite the New York trip, because your girl was blowing up her stories then, because I was living my best life, and solid fashion choices by your girl. Just wait, I'm going to post a lot of content, and again, an episode with my mom, but I digress. What's been going on? So, as of 2 weeks ago, this is Thursday, September 5th. Yes, I know these episodes come out on Wednesday, but again, life's been nuts. So as of 2 weeks ago, yesterday, we went under contract for a house. We close on this house tomorrow. So now you know what the fuck I'm dealing with. It has not even been 2.5 weeks of hyper warp speed of, we're buying a house. Oh my fucking God, this is a huge decision. Oh my God, is this right? Is this wrong? Commentary on both sides. I'm going to throw up. I'm spiraling. This is a real big adulting step, to flying by the seat of our pants during due diligence, to then me going straight into a New York trip, which that was already planned. But, you know, how's these things, they're crazy. And I kind of expected like this to be a potential thing. Like when it happened, I knew it might be crazy because the market's crazy anyway. And so this week, coming back from New York and then the holiday and just trying to freaking finish up all of the damn loose ends, because there's so many things, because like normally you have like 30 days for this and we have literally 5. That's what it feels like. I've been fucking overwhelmed. Work has been insane. There's been so much shit going on at work. I haven't even been able to look for a new job, but that is what it is. I am just surviving at this point. But I am very excited, even though maybe my emotions and my feelings and my expression aren't communicating that quite well, but I am excited. I'm just extremely overwhelmed. Of course, it's overwhelming. It's a big decision, and everyone says, oh, this is one of the top 3 things that will stress you out the most in your motherfucking life. And let me tell you, that statistic, I do think stands. I think it's very, very accurate. But this is the thing that I want to say about this. So, well, a couple things. One, be prepared for more housing content. So I'm excited for content. I'm excited to have our space. Just podcast studio, podcast office. Like just, I'm so excited about that. The home is beautiful. I can't wait to show you guys. It's in such a cute neighborhood. It's by some friends. It's not too far from my mom. It's not far from Stan's job. It is great. And like, it just, so much momentum and good things are happening. I've been talking about the winning season. I know I've entered the winning season, even though not all of the wins, quote unquote, that I thought I'd have all completely worked out, but I know they're going to. I'm not even worried about it because she is on it. All this good stuff. But why am I not completely over the moon, excited, cheerleading with you now? I'm going to try to go through this not in a crazy way where I start acting like this is a therapy session. I'm sharing this because, well, it's my podcast, but 2, 1, I don't know if this will help anyone, but I believe in authenticity, and I know that I have found a lot of grace and peace within myself when I hear other people share their experiences that align with mine or that I can connect to. So I'm going to share this. I don't talk much about Stan's parents. There's a reason for that. Not the best relationship. I'm trying to find the right words I have for this, but it's a very stressful relationship, let alone for me. I can't imagine with him. He's an only child, but for lack of better words, they just live in a very, 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 very small bubble. They don't really connect with people. They don't really have many relationships. Stan wasn't really allowed to go off and spend the night when he was a kid and things like that. But that's as much tea as I'm going to give that there, but just kind of setting the stage. So everyone that we've talked to, which hasn't been many about the house because, well, it's overwhelming as fuck. Like, literally my head is spinning, okay? But for those that we've talked to and shared the news with, they've been very, very supportive and very excited for us. And his parents have responded in the most negative way possible. It has been really heartbreaking, and it has made this entire process so much more stressful and so much worse than it should be. And when Stan and I should be celebrating, should be excited, instead, I am literally carrying all of the load of work. I am literally doing everything because he has gotten so depressed and so in his head because of I don't even want to pretend to act like I would know what no support from my parents looks like. And I know this is really hard because it's your parents, but part of why I've been radio silent and like essentially just disappeared from social media is because I'm going through it. This is an insane amount of work and tasks and things that have to be done just to buy the freaking home, let alone all the shit we need to do, like furniture and paint and getting excited. And I'm not looking for any kind of sympathy, empathy. And this is also not a takedown stand. Like, we're working on it. We're working through childhood trauma. But I'm just saying, you don't know what people are going through. And some parents suck. There is so much under that umbrella. And sometimes we are faced with hard chapters where maybe we have to re-examine that relationship. It's like shitty jobs, crappy friends, shitty weather, parents sucking. These are parts of life, but there are so many incredible, beautiful, better parts about life too. But there are shitty ones. And so maybe as the years go by, I meant to say as the weeks and months continue on in this house process, obviously I'll be updating you all and things like that. But I may share how I'm navigating it and holding space for myself and him and working together, because at this point, like, especially in our age, not that we're old, but like we're not kids. And it's like, we need to be worrying about us. Like, they don't support us anyway. So like, why are we going to give them so much of our energy to something that doesn't concern them? Right? Right. So it's just a new path to navigate. I do believe things are on the up and up with this momentary thing. Because again, super stressful time, closing. Oh my God, all the shit. And he did make a comment. He thinks he'll feel better once we close officially tomorrow. But still, you got to be there for your people. You got to be there when you're a team. You know, and you just can't let outside forces, even if they're your parents, affect you to the point that it cripples you and you can't be there for the people that need you. And that's more of a general statement. I don't want you to think that Stan's not been there at all. No, not at all. Not at all. He's been there a little bit, but it's also just, I can't approach him about everything because he gets very stressed out. His parents have gotten so in his head and, you know, completely diminished any and all confidence and joy he had about this. But thankfully, he's married to a badass freaking woman who is helping him find that self-love and self-worth. And we are unlearning bad things from our past because we are amazing and life is wonderful and life is worth living and experiencing. It's not worth living in a bubble. The bubble needs to go. And then it pops. And then what's left? A rainbow. Don't know if that's the actual truth, but that's the metaphor we're going to go with today. So thank you for allowing me to have a safe space and to share all that. I feel like I kind of came at it matter-of-factly, but understand part of that is mostly just because my brain is overwhelmed with all the things I'm doing and I've got to do and what I've been doing the past 2 weeks. But amazing New York trip. I'll definitely recap more of that with my mom. I'm going to post some more content about it because, like I said, your girl was looking cute as hell. And we're buying a house. Podcast studio. Ugh, what's the background going to be? No more books, but I wonder what it'll be. I don't know, but I'm so excited to think about it and just have space to breathe and not live on top of my husband and myself, for that matter. So yeah, that's that. But before I let you go, I have one more thing I want to share with you. So shout out to my girly Camille. She's my resident Gen Z know-it-all. Well, she does know it all. She's a cool girl, Camille. I strive to be her. I work with her. She's on my team, but she is a little content creator. I don't know why I gotta say little. That sounds so demeaning, but I don't mean it like, I meant like, she's so cool. I love her so much. She's so cute. Look at her, her little content creator. That's what I mean by that. Not like small. You know what I mean? But I digress. She always will share social media tips with me and stuff. And I have such a solid list of ideas now. I just have to actually execute them. But again, all of this happened and then we bought this house. So life's been crazy, like literally the past month. But she sent me this thing that was like, I guess it's going viral on TikTok. I'm probably going to share my results, but it was reaching out. I keep humanizing ChatGPT, giving them pronouns, see, I did it again, but whatever. But using ChatGPT, and basically the prompt is, I'm going to pull it up so I don't butcher it. So you're going to list out your wildest dreams. You're going to say, here's my wildest dreams. You're going to be specific. So I wrote things like podcasting and speaking as a career, making over 7 figures. Like as my career, making over 7 figures. Podcasting with guests like Jeff Goldblum, Chappell Roan, Heather McMahon, Glennon Doyle, people of influence. Owning my own podcast network that sponsors other creators, influencers, podcasters. Brand deals and a clothing collaboration with Show Me Your Moo Moo, because we all know that's my favorite brand. starting a legit charity, helping fund other people's dreams, being able to financially take care of my family completely, like my mom, my stan, my family. I want to be that source. Being a person that people follow for laughs, comfort, life things, and self-worth. Writing a New York Times best-selling book. So those were the things I listed. And then I said, now tell a story of a day in my life as my future self who has this already. So you go to ChatGPT. Here's a list of my wildest dreams. You list out all the big dreams. List them out. Don't be shy. List them out. And then say, now tell me what a day in my life looks like once I've achieved this. The response I got, I'm still speechless. It was so beautiful. It was so specific to everything that I want. It made me cry. And I just read out to you what I wrote, right? And some of these specific details that it wrote in its response, that it pulled just from those bullets, was incredible. I'm not trying to act like, oh, ChatGPT sees me, but it is an exercise that I think anybody and everyone should do, no matter what your dream is. Your dream to get promoted, your dream to start a family, your dream to create a business, whatever the heck, your dream to start a garden. I don't care what your dreams are. They're so important. If you have any type of self-doubt, or even if you don't, you just want a nice feel-good moment, I encourage you to go do this. The answers, like the prompt it gave me, no words. I thought about sharing it with you all, but like legitimately, I cannot read it without crying because it speaks so much to my soul, so much to my life's purpose, my dream. Like, wow. So I'm going to print it out and I'm going to post it so I can always refer to it. But I am going to reach out to the people who came to my vision board party earlier this year, and I'm going to give them this same exercise because I think it really works in tandem with your vision board. Okay. I might even like do this at the next vision board party because, you know, why not? And then you can follow up with what are things and steps I can do today to help me achieve these goals. And it gave me some really solid advice. I'll tell you one thing. It said content, posting more content so your people engage with you more so they know you more. And I'm like, I'm trying. I just wish you all could live in my head and then we'd be solid. I wouldn't even need content because you'd know I'm that bitch. I digress. Anyways, all this said, just solidified my excitement for the next chapter, the next phase, the next steps. It also just, not even solidified because I already feel this way, but guys, good things are coming. I can't necessarily tell you exactly what they are because I don't know what they are, but they're coming. I'm getting so many visions, so many feelings, seeing so many signs. It's happening. So I can't wait. And despite the little bit of negative stuff I've shared today and my personal life and my life experience at the time, at this moment, things are still good. I'm still moving forward because life is always going to have curveballs. Life's always going to hand you heavy shit and you've got to deal with it. You can't let it keep you down. You feel, but then you move on. And that's easier said than done. And that's where the self-work and continue to work on yourself, that's where that is key because it helps you move on. And it also helps you juggle it when it's not ideal. Like, I don't think I would have been able to handle this insanity of buying a home, all this shit. My self-work has allowed me to be able to, I'm not saying I'm Gucci and gravy at the moment, but like, I'm okay. I'm not falling off the horse. I'm not spiraling. I'm not falling into a hole. So go to ChatGPT, give it your dreams, then ask it to tell you what does a day in my life look like? And let me tell you, you're going to feel really good. You're going to feel really powerful. You're going to feel really confident. And you're going to feel really sure of yourself. I promise. And for me, well, I'm just going to keep holding on to my seat because I feel like I'm flying by the seat of my pants. And to give you a quick example, I've had to sign like 3 different things about wire fraud. And granted, we are giving a lot of money that we do not have. Like, I don't have Daddy Warbucks. So this down payment, I don't have it again to give. You know what I mean? So of course, I understand we need to be smart about this and not lose our money. But with that said, I have had to sign so much shit about wire fraud. Our realtor has gone over it a million times with us, our lender, and that's great. Thank you. You're looking out for me. I appreciate the support. However, it's made me a little paranoid. So we had to give our closing costs this week because we close tomorrow, and that's the biggest chunk of money. And I called them to verify the information like you're supposed to, the closing office, attorney's office. I then call my bank to say, hey, I'm about to send this large amount of money. I just want to confirm everything's good. And they're like, yeah, that's great. You're probably going to have to hear from us in the morning when we process it, but that's just because it's a large amount, blah, 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 blah. Okay, great. Doing all my due diligence. So I was expecting a phone call from my bank at some point this morning to go over the confirmation of the wire. And an unknown number calls, and I'm figuring it's them, but again, it's an unknown number. And again, I've signed, I don't even know how many things at this point about wire fraud. And they're like, this is Delta. Can you verify the last 4 of your social and your bank account number so that the wire, da-da-da-da. And I was like, okay, I'm not trying to be crazy, but I've signed so much wire fraud stuff. I am sure you're legit. I know you're legit, but is there any way that you can verify your identity for me before I verify my identity for you? Because I've never done this before and I don't have this money to give again if you do steal from me. So I'm just, help me out. And again, it was like that comical. And she was like, well, why don't you call us back, and get connected to the wire transfer team? And I'm like, is that crazy? Okay, thanks, I will. So I go to the website. I realize, okay, I'm calling the number that they just called me from, LOL. Call them. I get through, and I was like, hey, really? And she's a really nice lady. And I was like, I know this about to sound kind of crazy, but I'm calling you because y'all were calling me, and I wanted to verify because I've signed so many things. Beep, bop, zoop, zap, zeep, zeep. We giggle. We have a laugh. She understands. We confirm everything, and we're good. So the money has sent. So great, but that's where I'm at. Trying to be a good adult, a civil servant, if that even applies here. I don't think so. Trying to adult in the best way possible while also keeping my sanity. This has been no easy feat. I will tell you that right the fuck now, but she's doing it. And if that means you got to call back your bank to be like, I know I'm crazy, but let me just make sure you're legit, then so be it. So be it. So be it. You're not an inconvenience. You're just taking care of your shit. Okay? Okay. No more hurry sickness. I'm not overwhelmed because I'm just taking care of my shit. That's how we look at it. Well, on the note, I'm going to bounce because if you've gained anything from this episode, your girl has so much to do. But so many exciting things. I can't wait to share them with you. I've missed you all. Hopefully you've missed me. And hopefully this episode didn't get too real. And, again, you can't pick your parents, but you can pick and choose how you react to them. That is the note I'll end on. And also buying a home is not for the weak. Oh, my God. Woo! Love you, mean it. If you want to follow me, you're not doing so already, you can check me on Instagram, in.betweenpod, in.betweenpod, and also Elizabeth Cheney _ at Elizabeth Cheney _ Those are my 2 Instagram accounts, and then at the In Between Podcast on YouTube and TikTok. Come be my friend, follow me there, we'll hang out, we'll chit chat, and do the damn thing. Live our best selves, live our best selves, live our best life as our best selves. Okay. Well, I hope you all have a fabulous rest of your week. Look out for more housing content, and I will see you next week on an all-new In Between. I can't guarantee what the background's going to look like, but I'll see you for sure. All right, then. See you guys. Bye.